I've said it once before, but it bears repeating now.
Isn't it coming out with a new Spawn?
Really?
A new movie done by Todd McFarlane.
Is Michael Jai White playing Spawn?
Is it with Muppets?
Dude, I forgot to ask you, who would you make a Muppet? Fuck. I guess Cousin It's like technically a Muppet.
I love somebody's like, why are we doing all these remakes when we have the Muppets, Disney? Like, why are we doing all these live action remakes?
Who was
Just
that
do it with
said
Muppets.
that?
Like,
somebody was like, why are we doing all this shit? You have the Muppets.
you have the Muppets.
I mean,
figure it out.
It's factual.
Oh,
it's the truth.
man.
Everything is
dude,
satisfactory.
that's a young Alec Baldwin in Beetlejuice.
It's subtle.
It's crazy that
Zippity doo dah.
and I know we're going to talk about it, so I don't want to go too far into it. But it's such a feather in the hat of Michael Keaton that he could go from being Beetlejuice.
No, that he could go from Mr. Mom
to Beetlejuice.
Oh my God.
to Batman.
Wait, whose country song was that? Where it was like, "Was another Monday, Mister"?
That's Lone Star.
Oh, thank you. Okay,
Wow,
yeah, that's
dude.
right.
Right
Lone
there.
Star. Boom.
Right there. That's a good one.
That took
Pants go in Maytag dryer.
Yeah.
Pants go up
One drawer higher.
Rewind Barney
For the 15th time.
Breakfast 6.
Naps at 9.
There's bubble gum in the baby's hair. Sweet potatoes in the lazy chair. Bit crazy all day long. It's only Monday, Mr. Mom. There's your obligatory sing piece.
There
for
it
this
is.
episode.
Welcome back to another episode of Nostalgia Land. I'm
Quick,
Tyler.
guess what Michael Keaton movie we're doing? I'm Trey.
I'm mad.
It's Halloween and we're doing Beetlejuice.
I feel like that's a really good drink. Like that sounds like a great
Little
drink.
Wayne
You should come over
lyric.
your little. Beetlejuice.
I bet if you Googled it, the Beetlejuice is a drink.
I'm gonna need a
it's out
coat,
there.
but don't need a roof, cause I'm higher than Beetlejuice.
I mean, he is the ghost with the most.
That's true. He's the ghostest with the mostest.
Yeah, again, that's the thing about this movie. So this is similar to like with Hocus Pocus, where it's like Beetlejuice is the villain, but at the end of it, you also root for him in some strange way. But
I was rooting for Winona Ryder. You need some friends.
She's so depressed.
Always.
Gosh,
She'd
dude.
kill herself in this movie. It's crazy.
very sad.
Oh, yeah, that's a rough start.
I didn't believe that was Winona Ryder. I saw it.
Oh, really?
Winona Ryder.
Winona.
I saw it in the.
Winona.
If she's from Wyoming, she'd be Winona. I saw it in the credits, and I was like, "Who's Winona Ryder play this movie?" And my wife was like, "She's the little girl," and I was like, "Nah."
Yeah.
And like we're watching it, and she's like, "That's Winona Ryder." I'm like, "No, it's not." And she like pulls up the IMDb, and she's like, "You do this." Like
For a
on
living now,
podcast, and I was like, "Shut up."
Hopefully we can start saying we do this for a living.
That'd be
soon.
great.
That'd be
That
awesome.
would
Yeah, it's
be
on you guys. No, I'm just
amazing.
kidding.
Like and subscribe.
Just
Click that notification bell. Thank you very
hold,
much.
you hold our fate in your hands, please.
Just smash that like button. Destroy the like button.
Tell your friends. Tell your family. Tell people who aren't your friends or your family.
Tell your enemies. That's the best one. Yeah.
Yes.
Tell your enemies.
That's right.
Torture them with our singing.
Just pick it. Like walk down the street with a sign. Nostalgia Land. Follow here.
I had a thought of putting that on like a bumper sticker. Like you can put that on the back of my car. And I was like, I don't know if I want people following me that way.
Yeah, is that the guy from Nostalgia Land?
Oh my God.
There he
His
is.
take on Beetlejuice was horrible. I'm going to go beat his ass.
Yeah, or just fender bender. Just like, bump him. Brake check.
Why'd you run into me? You didn't like Beetlejuice.
Michael Keaton's a gift. He's a gift in that movie.
I thought Pitchmaster sucked.
Oh man, what I gotta say, what I love about a Tim Burton movie is within the first 30 seconds, you know it's a Tim Burton movie. 'Cause
Font.
Two things. Oh, because of the font, yeah. And then Danny Elfman's composing.
Yeah.
That dude, whoever, like, I mean, I feel like there's everyone in an orchestra is super important. Everyone has their roles, everyone has their jobs, right? But when Danny Elfman came onto the scene, the guy who plays the tambourine in the orchestra was like, "Thank you."
Yeah, he's all hocked up on Mountain Dew.
Job security on this one. I can finally, Mom, and like call him like, I'm in. I'm used. Like,
Mom, have you
Be
seen
famous. All
Beetlejuice?
them years of practicing.
Have you seen Beetlejuice? I was going off.
this guy went to Juilliard to play tambourine. That's
That's funny that you said that because in the movie he's like, I studied at the Juilliard. It was Harvard.
No, but man, this movie started to that boom, 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 and that tambourine this whole time.
It reminds me of the Family Guy joke where it's in one of the what are they called? It's their Star Wars episodes, but they're called something. I'm the Family Guy guy, and I can't think of it. But anyway, Chris is playing Luke Skywalker, and they're on Tatooine, and it's the
Blue Harvest.
Yeah, Blue Harvest.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
And he's like and he's like, ladies and gentlemen, John Williams and the New York City Orchestra, and they're playing, and the Sand People come to kill Uncle Owen and Aunt Beruut, and he comes back and he's like, no, John Williams. He's like, now we have to do the rest of the movie with Danny Elfman.
And the tambourine guy in the end. It's like a signature thing. Oh, I love it.
And then my favorite is when he's like still hyped that it's John Williams. He's like, now to the People's Court. They're like, doon, 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 doon.
I think we're more musical. We're just gonna need to do an episode. Or is there any comedy musicals? I feel like there's a couple.
I'm sure.
Isn't there?
I'm sure. We're just not thinking them off the top of our
Well, I
head.
know there's like Cannibal, which was written by Trey Parker and Matt Stone. It was like one of their
There's
first.
Beetlejuice.
There's
Yeah.
the one about like Hitler, like
Springtime
Yeah.
for Hitler.
Yeah, Springtime.
Yeah, it was
The
that,
producers. The producers.
That movie is
Yeah.
awesome.
I haven't seen the movie.
Oh, you should watch it.
Oh, it's
With
good.
Matthew
I've seen
Broderick.
the play like a long time ago.
Both
like
of them. Yeah, both remakes are great. The one with Gene Wilder and I can't remember who, but then Matt Broderick and Nathan
The one
Lane.
that's the one that I'd seen. The one with Nathan Lane. Yes.
So good.
So funny.
Anyways.
That sounded,
I came from Minnesota. Oh my God. It's got a can of pop.
You're going over to the bubbler.
Oh God.
which is close to Connecticut, which is where we're
That's
going
right.
for Beetlejuice.
That's right.
Bam.
And you learn that from like the
Yeah, they
old
mentioned it a couple times.
Scroogey New York guy
I love him.
who's like,
Yeah.
"What are you doing in Connecticut?" Like, shut up.
What's it called? It's like Winter's Haven or Winter's Hollow, something like that. Like it's
Sleepy Hollow.
yeah, Sleepy.
I don't remember
yeah.
the name.
I don't remember
It's
the name either.
Sleepy's. But yeah, it's I think what's really cool and often about Tim Burton is like, yeah, so when it starts off, you know it's his movie, not just by the music but the visuals. Like he's really like he creates these stark kind of sets that
Uses
are all
like that
about,
same font.
yeah,
in, like, every movie.
same damn font.
Play
Yeah.
the same, use the same font.
Yeah.
Same font. Here it is.
Yeah, no, in the editor room, they're like, same one again.
Comic
Timmy?
Sans?
Yeah,
We're doing Comic
Got you
Sans?
loaded
Roll
up.
it?
Chagoom
Oh,
chat.
sweet.
There you go.
And
Oh, we assumed. And then
That's smart.
Yeah.
It's your telltale without people having to know.
it's a calling card. It really is.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's
it's
his,
good.
It is his niche.
a lot of big actors in this movie.
Let's take them out. Alec Baldwin, Gina Davis, Michael Keaton,
Winona
and
Ryder.
Winona.
And then the guy, the her dad, Winona Ryder's dad.
Yeah.
I can never remember his name, but he's
I can't
awesome.
either, but the mom from Home Alone is in it.
Yep.
Oh, Catherine O'Hara.
Catherine.
And then we had a little technical glitch
There
here.
you go. Yeah, Catherine O'Hara.
Yeah.
So Catherine O'Hara was in that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You make a little record scratch there, but that's okay.
Yeah. I think I got that
Um,
one actually.
There's
You
the
do.
guy that plays.
Oh, thank you.
I was
Those are
playing
guys
with the
I
soundboard.
was charging. I was like, scaring me, and I saw you do it.
The guy that plays Otho.
Otho.
Is
Yeah.
he? I don't know who that.
He's been. Do you ever see Demolition Man? He plays
Long time
almost the
ago.
same character.
Oh, really?
It's like big
Like
flamboyant.
an effeminate
Yeah.
interior designer.
Dude,
Oh, yeah.
you got to watch
I know
Demolition
almost
Man.
as much about the paranormal as I do about interior design, and I love how like that shuts them up. They're like, "Oh shit, this guy
Oh,
does
shit.
It like
Oh my
zooms
God.
out and they're on that stupid like
What
exterior
the hell is
porch
that, dude? It's
with
like,
the
oh,
wall.
oh, look, you better hope it don't rain today. You could never get away with that in Florida.
No. Well, I think they're trying to in some of these areas.
You'd have to bring all your furniture in at 3 o'clock.
Okay. What do you got to do? What?
You'd have to bring all your furniture in at 3 o'clock,
Or it's got to be able to get wet.
or it needs to float.
Oh yeah, yeah. It needs to be some kind of hurricane proof because we got some high winds. But yeah, I think I love this movie with because so kind of funny. I love this movie and my wife hates this movie.
Why?
And we tried to talk her through it, and she's just like, I don't. She's like, Michael Keaton's like the whole Beetlejuice thing, and she's like, and they're dead, and why are they dead? And then why is it not just like more
Was he in a car
definitive?
crash?
But then she's like, she goes, and she brought up a good point. She's like, what were the stakes in this movie? Like, what did everybody have to lose? And you kind of get to the end, you're like, oh, nobody kind of lost anything, and like there wasn't anything real.
Well, the
kind of stakes in that, but I mean,
the
except for
original couple. What is their name? The Wilt.
It starts with an M.
Waterlands, or something
No,
like that.
the Maitland.
Maitlands.
Maitlands.
The
Thank you.
Maitlands.
Mait-
They had a lot. They died.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Right.
they were going to have to live for 150 years in the house that they had made perfect
for them. Yeah.
living with the Demi. Gosh, I can't remember their name either. I'm so bad at names.
I wanted to say
Dahlia?
the denizens. But
Yes,
that's
it's not. But with
Dietzes.
the Dietzes,
Dietz.
with this other family that has come in and made it look like somebody contemporarily vomited all over the place.
Sorry, Trey's having a heart attack this second.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what is going on over
He's
there?
picking at his nose constantly.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, that's why. We're good.
Okay, keep going. So you're saying they're living with the Dietzes? Yeah.
So they're living, and then they would have to live trapped in their attic for the rest of eternity.
Yeah.
So why not use your powers to scare them out?
So were those the rules? Because that was a hard thing in the past. So okay, so the movie opens. It's a happy couple. They can't have kids. They allude to that they're kind of
they're
having a hard time not having
they're on
conceiving.
like a staycation, and it sounds like they've like lost she was pregnant. And she like lost a child because her realtor comes by and she's like, "This house, I got an offer of $250,000. It's really big.
I want
This
to
should
throw
be
that realtor through a window.
Janice,
Yes.
Janet, yeah.
Dude, the way they react when they see her car pull up, it's like they just want to shoot themselves in the head right there.
Why are you using her as your realtor?
I don't even know if she is. I think she sold the house to them originally.
Right, and now she's like reneging the offer.
Yeah,
Like,
she's trying to sell.
Well, I think
a good family needs to go in
It's
here.
a really small
She just
town,
wants to
so
sell the
there's probably
house.
only one realtor.
It's probably only one house to
He's the
sell.
hardware store guy, and then there's the barbershop guy that like, talks to himself.
There's the guy polishing the gargoyle outside the
Yeah.
school for some reason.
Yo, that's the quickest old dog I've ever seen in my life because that
makes
dog's in
moves.
like four places, four people.
He's in 4 people.
Yikes!
What kind of movie were you watching?
Hold on, Beetlejuice, right?
Which the
Beetlejuice?
weirdest spelling, and like
Yeah.
the title spells it like Beetlejuice,
Right.
and then in the
And
movie,
I think that's kind of the joke is that they can't.
what?
No, I just want to
Yeah,
get
you
you a
gotta get
little
up on
closer.
your
Oh
mic.
well, yeah, just
You're being a little
bleed
distant.
it. I
I'm
don't want to bleed on the mic.
Go ahead, bleed all over it.
No, it's fine. Cheers.
So that's true.
So it's kind of a running gag throughout the whole movie where his name is spelled differently, and I think what the joke is, or what the reason is he can't say Beetlejuice,
right.
Mm-hmm.
so he has to get you to say it to him,
Yeah.
and he has to get you to say it the right way, and like
You play charades.
a bunch of times, yeah, exactly. You play charades. A bunch of times during the movie, they say it twice and then move on.
Yeah.
Like the first time his name comes up is when the paper, the ad is there.
Yeah.
And it's ripped, and he's like, Beetlejuice.
Yeah. That's how I read it.
Beetlegeist.
Yeah.
And then he
Bio
goes,
exorcist.
Beetle. And then he walks off and like it goes on to something else, and he doesn't finish the third line. I thought that was really clever.
Then
Yeah.
Winona Ryder's character says it twice, and then they're
When
like,
she's actually talking to
yeah,
him.
and then they're like,
yeah.
So the premise of it is that this young couple dies, right? And
yeah, they get in a car accident.
there's this great, I think, in what's good about it is like there's just this just enough creepiness in this movie that it's like, okay, it's worth its rating, right, when you're watching it, but then it's
it
not.
R?
No. It's
PG-13.
It's like PG.
I think it's PG.
Yeah.
I thought it was PG-13.
This is PG back in the day, though, like where Temple of Doom, Indiana Jones at the
That's
Temple
true.
of Doom could rip a heart out
Kalima.
and they could eat the brains out of a monkey.
Monkey's skull.
PG nowadays means like, you know, your 4-year-old could watch this
said
movie.
crap. It said
like-
crap. PG.
And for later on, Michael Keaton drops an F-bomb.
Yeah, and grabs his
in
crotch.
You're allowed to do it
crap,
once.
yeah.
You're allowed to
You
drop
get
one
one.
time. Yeah, you
You
get
get
one.
one PG.
You
Yeah,
get one.
everybody gets one. That's it.
Like in Lord of the Rings.
Tell him, Peter.
Tell him, everybody gets one, apparently. No, so they die, and then what's great
Bingo.
is like
I had a real problem with that scene.
with which
With
one?
them dying?
Yes.
I don't think
Okay.
they die there.
No.
Yeah, hey, like, you don't
Okay,
die. You don't die
so
from that.
they crash through they run the car through the side of the bridge.
Right.
The dog, the funny thing with the dog, where he's standing on the wood, and then the dog bails out, and
that
they
dog gets
fall.
in
But-
real life. That
so
dog gets launched off that piece of
They're
wood.
both
by the way.
wearing their seatbelt,
Yeah.
and his window is down, so the car basically just kind of plops into the river.
It's like a 6-foot drop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
And,
seatbelt
like-
would hold, and then you would just take the seatbelt off and swim out the window.
Well, my big thing is like, yeah, you could have like concussion, whatever. And if they fell into like a lake, I'd be like, okay, maybe they drowned. But like
Right.
they fell into like a creek.
it's
It's
a
a
river.
very shallow
Not even.
creek.
It's
yeah.
like-
You would,
Yeah.
and something interesting about that, the river that was running there was a creek. They had to come in with concrete and dam it up.
Oh.
And every time it would rain real hard, it would push the concrete blocks away down the river, and they would have to redo it again to get that.
Dude.
It's like literally, it's almost like it was like,
That was the only thing. It's like, I've seen a lot of Mythbusters.
Yeah, about what's
just don't
gonna,
show it.
Yeah.
Just show him fall off the bridge and then that's it.
So in the original script for this movie,
they blowed him up. No, I'm just kidding.
it was much darker. It was a horror movie. Like it was supposed to be a horror movie.
Ooh.
And Beetlejuice was not funny. He was.
You were scared of him, weren't you?
He was supposed to be in his normal form a demon with wings.
Oh God!
And when he was in his human form, he was a small Middle Eastern man. No joke. I'm not making this up.
I kind of like the direction they went.
Yeah, yes,
I'm
absolutely,
okay with
100%.
that now. Jeez.
Super funny. But the car accident was supposed to be much more violent, and she was supposed to get her arm crushed. And and they even
is that
played
why
with,
she's like, my arm's numb?
Yeah, I think it was a kind of a throw to that.
Oh my God!
And they even played with the idea going through the movie, because if you watch, like, everybody has what they're dead from,
right,
and they're normal.
they're
right?
not. Yeah,
and it's because they drown.
Oh,
And so
Yeah, but
the
even-
idea was they were going to keep
sorry.
them wet the entire movie.
yeah.
And they realized after about 10 minutes that is a horrible idea, because they're wet all the time.
All the
And
time,
could you
yeah.
imagine filming an entire movie
Uncomfortable it
Wet.
would be. I don't, man.
like soaking wet?
why is everything wet?
I do wonder though, with like how they died. I was like, okay, we have to keep this PG. And like when you start talking about like the subject matter, like, okay, they're dead, and we're going to talk about the afterlife and suicide, and we're still going to keep that PG rating.
And you're gonna like
Oh,
show
buddy.
somebody with like their throat slit and like hanging.
And
She
yeah,
smokes and the
Yeah, and
smoke
the thing comes
out.
out.
Of her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
guy hanging. There's another dude who's been like completely flattened by, I guess, a semi truck
Yeah,
or something
yeah.
like
And
that.
I
How do I
love
look?
the practical effects.
Oh,
and
they're
and they
great.
did it on purpose. Because
Oh,
they
really?
had a $15 million budget, and they only used $1 million of the budget for special effects.
I did see something about that where they were like, they kept it campy
And
and kind of beat
The only
their
it.
interviews
special
with Tim
effect
Burton.
is like that took me out of it was the sandworm.
And that was on purpose.
Yeah.
That was on purpose.
Oh.
It was
weird
stop
looking-
motion.
Yeah.
It was a
It was
call
like claymation
to,
almost.
It was a call to his
Yeah.
history in 2D animation.
Got it.
And he wanted that weird kind of pastel-y look.
You know where that sandworm would fit? Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh yeah,
That-
definitely.
It looks like they just ripped it out of Halloween Town. And,
Speaking of Nightmare Before Christmas, later in the movie when Beetlejuice finally gets called in to
yes.
do his damnedest, he comes out of the table opens up,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he comes rising out of the table with that big
with the parasail on his head.
yeah.
on the very top of the hat
Is
is
Jack
Jack Skellington.
Jack
I saw that.
Skellington.
And long before the
Yes.
movie's ever made.
I noticed that too this time, and I was just like, "Oh my god, there's no callback." So I remember
Yeah.
that he was saying that he started making. Tim Burton started working on Nightmare when he was still at Cal Arts, and going through the Disney program,
Oh, okay.
and they didn't like it. And I'm
shocked.
Yeah, really.
And now it's like one of their biggest properties.
Well, that's the thing. So this was all during the Disney Renaissance in the late '80s, early '90s, when everything was about princesses. Everything
Right.
was princess. And so when Tim Burton came along, he had been working on this movie, and then when he created reels for it and had brought on lead singer from Oingo Boingo, Danny Elfman, to do the music.
Word just makes me laugh.
Yeah, Oingo Boingo. I can't even say it.
Oingo Boingo.
Boingo. Anyways, so he brought him on. When they sent out the reels, apparently to other studios, like, so you got it. Like, everyone realized, like, this is going to be huge. Like, this is going to be a hit right out the gate. And then Disney popped in and were like, "Hey, buddy, remember
you did our program?
Come work."
Remember when we told you we didn't want to do that crappy movie?
Yeah.
Let's make that crappy movie.
Let's do it.
But
Remember when you wanted to do like creepy Halloween Town? Yeah, creepy and not so scary.
Yeah, all right.
that's why I love Tim Burton, because he has the balls to say, like, I'm going to make this creepy movie.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make it the way I want to make it.
Yeah.
And he said that one of the best parts about making Beetlejuice is how they were kind of overlooked when they were making the movie. And so he was kind of able to push the envelope a little bit in certain areas, doing things. But yeah, like what we were talking about, where the special effects were on purpose, kept very basic, no computer graphics. And I think that it works so well now in a rewatch, and it's like when he's the snake, when Beetlejuice is
Yeah,
the
that didn't
snake.
bother me as much.
But it's scary, like it's visceral, it's there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and like the actors have something to act to, because not all actors can pull off the CG of
fear thing.
tennis ball.
Act to this tennis ball on a stick.
Yeah.
Some do very well, but I think we all have CGI fatigue where they throw the skeleton of a giant shark in the air now, and it's just like, oh yeah, look at that, whatever, because nothing's impressive anymore.
It's almost like, make something, damn it.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you put a prop together and threw it in the air, wow,
Like, look at that distance they got on that thing.
Not that I'm knocking CGI at all, because it's given us some fantastic movies that you could never ever do, but some of the stuff that you don't need to do that, like if you could do hard practical effects.
Star Wars.
Yes.
Yeah.
It works.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. No. But yeah, there's a lot of interesting things that I learned about this movie. There was a lot of stuff that I was very surprised by, like a small Middle Eastern man. One of the things that really shocked me, Sammy Davis Jr. was supposed to be
Beetlejuice.
I read
That's who
that.
Tim Burton was, because he envisioned him as this like Las Vegas lounge singer.
Okay.
And I guess that would have worked if the movie was written that way for him. But there is nobody that can play Beetlejuice now, thanks to Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
And the craziest part about that is he's in 17 minutes of the movie.
Yeah. He's like this much of it. He's almost like the
But he's
like
the
shark from
boogeyman.
Jaws.
Like
Yeah.
like the tension of
Right, that's what he was saying. Like he's like Bruce from Jaws, where he's not in the movie, and that's what makes it weird and scary and crazy.
I do
to
love
the point where we got cartoons, comics,
video games.
He's in 4
games,
different things that use the Beetlejuice, either a theme or it's an actual game. Now, whether or not they're good is neither here nor
It's up
there.
to you.
They're not good.
They're not.
There you go.
I think the one for Genesis is decent because it fits. I feel like this movie fits on Sega like perfectly. Like it's not gonna be like it's not.
Why? Because it's bad.
No. Like it's not Tim
love
Burton's.
Sega, by the way.
Like it's not Tim Burton's best work. Like Tim
Okay.
Burton's best work is probably Nightmare or Batman, but it's not the worst either. Like it's not his worst movie.
See, I think that so much of Tim Burton's work can just be put in a pot, and you could just like grab from it.
Yeah, guys, pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, Beetlejuice is a good movie. I don't care what Sarah says. and it's a good movie. It's
like
funny.
it's like a
very
bucket
funny.
of Halloween candy.
Now, I
like
get it
Burton.
if you're not into like the creepy, because it's creepy. Like they do some weird stuff. Especially when I was a kid, it was like, I don't want to watch this. This is weird, man. Like when they make their faces all distorted and they like shoves his hand up through his head, and then he's got the eyeballs all over his hands. And then they do the joke where they come back and Winona Ryder's there and Lydia and
Alec
she
Baldwin.
screams.
Yeah.
And when she turns, because she's looking at Alec Baldwin, when she turns back around, Gina Davis is already back to normal. And she's like, it's us, it's okay. And she turns, and he's just got the huge nose
he's
still,
like stuck
because he can't get it. It's so good. And it's like those little bits.
You say, oh, sorry, those little bits you're saying.
I was saying, and even in the gross parts like that, where it's like these disgusting practical effects, they still make you laugh with the jokes that they deliver out of them.
Yeah. I think what's like, so when I rewatched this and I was remembering it from, I think the last time I watched it was maybe 4 or 5 years ago. But the first time I watched it was actually at one of our buddies' house, Zachary's house.
Okay.
And I think this was an old
really?
thing. We used to go to Blockbuster and had to rent that. And it was like one of those times, I think it was during Halloween, where we were trying to find it and we were like, please, can we get this one? And like, I remember his dad being like, I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I think it might be a little too much for you guys. And the things that got me, that terrified me as a kid, were the insecurity when they come back to the house and they're like, where are we? What are we? Like, are we alive? Are we not alive? And then when he steps out onto the front porch and he falls onto Saturn and is immediately like chased
by the sandworm.
and I was like, what are the rules in the afterlife?
Yeah.
What is going on?
They didn't know either.
Creeped me out.
That's what the book's for.
Yeah, and they get the handbook, and he says, like, it's like trying to read a
stereo
instructional manual, because it makes no sense. And when Lydia reads it,
she's like, I get it.
Yeah, you got to do the thing with the dead people. And they're like, you could understand it? She says, yeah. That's what it says. Like, the living won't always see the dead. They overlook them. They
overlook
it's
the strange and the
because
supernatural.
of the strange and the supernatural. And she's like, I am
I'm
the
strange.
strange and
Yeah, I'm
supernatural.
strange.
Unusual.
Yeah,
Is it
I'm strange
unusual?
and unusual.
Yeah. But I mean, it's sitting around. We're all reading their VCR like manuals back on the day.
Yeah, but the way,
How do I
like the way you were talking about how like they drown. There's a guy who drowns in the when they draw the door and they go into like the waiting room. There's a diver who drowned and he's like blue and like all that. So I was like, that's why I was like, how'd they die? Because everybody else is like super disfigured or they have like the social worker's not disfigured, but she has the slit.
And she's kind of bluish too.
Yeah.
Well, that was
no, but she has I'm talking about their case manager.
Her skin has like a bluish,
like
like a tint to it. Yeah, Juno.
But do you wonder if maybe it's that everyone? So when it's not you, and you look around the room, like everyone else sees how you died, like in that
and then
and
like
stuff like that. But your own personal image of yourself
stays the same.
Maybe. And of the other person. Because I do like the guy.
No, you can't really explain that with the girl that's in two pieces.
Oh God!
Beetlejuice grabs her at the end.
That's hard.
He's like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't see you sit there."
You do that really good too. Man, you got these voices down.
No, man, yeah, Michael Keaton's performance. I think what's one of the best monologues. Like earlier tonight, we were talking and we did I think all of us can pretty much well do like from Gladiator, Russell Crowe's little
the Maximus Decimus Meridius.
Like we can all like quote that pretty quickly. This one is one where he's like, "Well, I attended Juilliard.
Yeah, well, I attended the Juilliard.
Yeah,
I traveled pretty extensively, and I went to Harvard Business School. What do you think? I'm dead.
Yeah,
I survived the Black Plague.
yeah. I've seen The Exorcist about 167 times,
And it only gets funnier with every watch.
Michael Keaton was just like, it's almost like he was just like, you know what, buddy, just go, just do it.
It's almost like they didn't give him a
Just go
script, and
for
they were
it.
like, just think of the weirdest stuff.
I think he ad-libbed everything.
Yeah, just think of weird stuff. Like,
So when they first brought him, Tim Burton met with him to pitch him the movie. He said no, and he said that I saw an interview with him, and he said that he really liked Tim Burton. He could tell how creative he was. He really liked him, and he told him this. He's like, I just don't understand it. Like, I don't understand the movie.
Oh, wow.
The concept.
that almost makes it better.
He's like, okay. So then they met again. He got another meeting with him, and he tried to sell it again. And he's like, still, no.
I don't get it.
I don't get it. And the third time he came to him, he approached it a little differently, and he said, okay, yeah. Like, I'm on board.
All right, fine.
And he said, okay, so take this character and make him your own.
Yeah.
And he left and came back, and he said, I want my hair to look like I stuck my finger in an electrical socket.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
want to have like green scab.
I want to have mold.
It's mold.
That's what
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah, I want mold on
I
my
think he's
face.
creepier as like just Beetlejuice.
Yeah,
just
than
by
when
himself.
he does like the snake. Yeah, cool. You're a snake. You're cool. You're the guy with the carousel on your head. But when he's just like old, decrepit, like Beetlejuice, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that's gross, dude.
Yeah.
Like you're gross.
They
Like
did, and they won the Academy Award for the makeup. I
Oh,
believe.
really?
I'm not 100%.
Okay.
Because we just did Addams Family, and I can't remember if I'm mixing them up, but I'm almost 100% that they won the Academy Award for special effects for makeup for that. But yeah, it was super fascinating, and the fact that he's in 17 minutes of the movie,
And that's it.
and when you go back and you watch, wow, yeah, he's not in a lot of this movie at all, and he just steals the whole show when he shows up.
you're
Yeah.
right, and they won it for best
Yeah.
makeup.
But it's almost like it's almost like, you know, yeah, you're getting through, you know, halfway through this movie. You're like, wait, where's Beetlejuice? Like,
Yeah.
he's like a half an hour in, and then you're like, okay,
It's a long time.
I'm pretty sure this is Beetlejuice, right? Not Gina Davis, Alec Baldwin movie or whatever that be called.
The what is it? What is their last name?
Oh yeah, the Maitfields.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not about the
Maitlands.
Maitlands?
Yeah.
Not with the Maitland.
We're not watching the Maitlands, right? We're
Maitlands
watching
and-
Beetlejuice.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Well, where is this dude? Well, like, I think that's what's so great about it, like it being such an iconic character, is that he's like not really based on anything. Like it's Keaton's like come up and
Yeah.
like, it's just his whole idea around this mythological demon kind of dead guy.
Yeah.
that is absolutely hysterical. Like I had to slow down and go back a couple times to get all of the little jokes
Yeah, because he's talking so fast.
that Keaton gets in
Yeah.
there in his 17 minutes, man, because he is nonstop. Like the whole time when he first comes out, and he's like, "Hey, great to meet you," and he goes, "Babs," to Barbara and Gina Davis's character.
so
And
funny.
he's like, I think that's one of the things. Is like he's this weird mix of like gross and inappropriate, but then hysterical to watch, and I think that's what it's such a fine line to walk, and he found it because in a way. You don't like him. You don't want him to succeed, but you also like him. And
Yeah.
you kind of want him to get away
I think
with
a lot of that comes from too is Juno, their like caseworker.
Yeah, caseworker.
Is such a biatch to them, and she's the one that's like, don't talk to Beetlejuice. He used to be my assistant, and he went out on his own.
Now he's a bioexorcist.
Yeah, he's a bioexorcist.
I'm just a freelance bioexorcist.
That's awesome.
That was good.
Still so good. But then when it shows Beetlejuice and he's talking to them, especially when he starts talking to Winona Ryder and trying to get Lydia to marry him.
Oh yeah.
You can feel like the desperation is palpable with him not wanting her to lose this.
Yeah.
And he's just pressing so
he
hard.
snaps his fingers and like the little butler guy shows up. Like,
Yeah.
he comes out of the fireplace.
And then there's the whole.
He looks like the guy from the Scream painting.
He does.
Oh yeah. Actually, I did really find out that that's the same little person that plays from Bad Santa, the helper for
Santa's little helper.
Yeah, Santa's
like
little
The
dog.
dog from The Simpsons.
Yeah, no.
The elf in Bad Santa.
The elf in Bad Santa.
That's
never
like his
seen Bad
best
Santa.
friend.
is his co-part who's married to the Asian woman.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah,
Super funny.
that's the same guy in the suit.
God,
so
Bad Santa,
apparently
that's a
great movie, yeah.
crazy.
I've never
movie.
seen Bad Santa.
Oh yeah, that's a good
That
holiday
is a
rewatch.
ridiculous movie.
That
You
is.
should
That's-
definitely watch that.
Hey.
That's on top. No,
It's Christmas is coming.
Yeah. Yeah. They never saw Bad Santa 2. Didn't they do Bad Santa 2?
they did. I don't.
I like how we're first introduced to Beetlejuice and he's like looking through the classifieds. He's like, I gotta find a job.
Yeah, look at these two suckers. Yeah.
He's like, oh, they look pretty dumb.
And then Juno just drops the whorehouse in
Yeah,
later in the
that
movie.
was my idea.
And he's like,
Oh, thank you. Why did you build that? And he's like, I didn't. But I might go later.
that was a cool effect that they did when they first go down, when she finally says Beetlejuice 3 times for the first time in the movie. And instead of him coming out, they shrink down and they're on the
And they're digging up like cardboard instead of sand.
we gotta dig.
Yeah.
They're digging through, and it's like they're actually digging down through the model, and there's like the foam and the plywood and everything.
Yeah.
That's really good concepts. Really,
and
really
Beetlejuice
good
is spelled
delivery.
right on the tombstone.
Yeah,
But it's only twice, isn't it? Or is
No,
just
it just
once?
says Here Lies
Just
Beetlejuice.
Here
once.
lies Beetlejuice, and it's neon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun
Yeah,
fact:
right.
if you Google Beetlejuice, it'll come up with 3 little emojis of beetle and juice.
Oh,
And
really?
3 of them like roll by your screen. It's pretty funny.
Oh,
Well,
that's cool.
like that's part of it was and like I said, it was like Michael Keaton is so quick, and one of the there's sometimes where I'm like, wait, what was the joke there? Because there's one where he's trying to convince them to hire him, and it's so like it's hilarious. He jumps on Alec Baldwin's back and he goes, "Hey, hold on, partner!" And he goes, "Hey, we even shop at the same store." And, he's wearing the same
his
clothes.
clothes.
And he's
like,
got a
"Brother
little bit
Marno."
of a gun.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
little gun there. That's all
He's
that-
like, look, we could be brothers.
yeah, but then when he's trying to convince them to stay, and he's walking up to his grave, and he goes, "I hope you like Italian." And I was like, "What's the joke there exactly?" I'm not sure. He goes, "Hey, you're working with a professional here," and he just kicks down the tray. "You bunch of losers!" And then we get the F-bomb of a PG movie, and it's like, what does he say exactly? He's like, "Yeah, you fucking losers," or something like that. I'm just like, "Whoa!"
And he grabs his crotch and like does this.
Oh yeah, no, that was one I had to like because my kids were. It's so hard to watch some of these movies sometimes because like your kids just come through the living room. I'm trying to be so good about not like.
That's why you
letting
gotta
them see
watch
stuff.
them like on an iPad.
Yeah,
with,
like
headphones
on
in.
my phone, just like
Yeah.
real tiny to save.
Dad, what are you doing? Shut up.
No, that's always the problem.
Go
with
watch
like,
the TV.
yeah, when I'm trying to watch these little movies on my phone, I'm like, wait, what am I doing? I bought the big TV, and I'm the adult. I get to watch on the big. Okay,
You go
fine.
watch your phone with headphones in.
Go watch that new Paw Patrol movie, which we did go see.
Oh jeez.
Oh man, if you want to have a horror movie time, go see Paw Patrol. It was hard to get through.
But I do like how they finally like they get through and they like draw the door. Like he learns how to. He's like, oh, if we
Yeah.
draw the door,
And she's all like, "What are you serious? What are you doing?"
you're gonna use all your help vouchers.
Well, he's
Oh
like,
yeah.
I'm talking about Gina Davis.
yeah.
Like, are you really doing this right now? And then he's, I forgot.
forgot
And
the
draws the
doorknob.
handle.
Oh, of course. Yeah, the little ball on the door. That's great.
But I like the line that they put in where like all of the civil servants have like a suicidality to them, and then the guy's like, if you kill yourself in the afterlife, you become a civil servant.
Yes.
What is
Yes.
the deal with that though? Like the rules here. I was just like, oh my god. Like, that's
It's
some
like
of the
a,
things
it's
they come
like
up
a
with.
cliche joke in real life, and then in the afterlife, it's actually true.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
Juno has this slit throat, and she's a silver servant.
She's like, I wouldn't have had
And-
my accident,
yeah,
and she
the
shows
girl
her wrist.
shows
and
her
they're
wrist.
Oh
slit.
my god.
And everybody
yeah.
that's a civil servant servant committed suicide in real life.
Yeah,
dude.
the guy laid down in front of a train. That's why he's flat.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
why
Yeah.
he's flat. That makes so much sense now. Yeah,
You get punished.
that
Yeah.
aesthetic though, that I loved is that everything was kind of either would shine like in a black light. Like there was there was some of that.
Yeah.
That's
He
what made
wanted
it
him
like
to
the
be these-
afterlife, I guess.
Right.
He
Yeah.
wanted everybody to be these like muted pastel colors, and they realized that when they shot it, it didn't show up. So they had to brighten the colors some, but that's why everybody has those, like everybody, even the football players.
Yeah.
Or blue.
Yeah,
Please.
they're like blue because they
Yeah.
were dead.
Please talk about the football
Yeah,
players.
and
how
they keep coming in.
come
Coach, I'm not your coach. He lived.
He survived,
That's
ironically.
yeah.
Ironically. And then because he's like, Coach, where's the men's room? Yeah. The men's room, you got to be kidding me.
Mikey.
One guy like
you say you gotta go to the
bathroom.
Yeah.
Well, and the one guy has like the helmet like through his face, which
I didn't notice it.
which makes me think like, were you guys in like full gear?
Yeah, you know, that's
On
how
the
football
bus.
players travel. Like, suit up, boys.
Yeah,
Suit
suit
up.
up,
We're going to
yeah.
go play.
Hey, we're gonna go down
That's
and
how you-
play a rival school.
That's
is
how you know
everybody
they're
that I
football
do?
players.
Everybody's New York.
Everybody that I do.
Hey, we're from the Bronx. We're from Nebraska. Nah,
I hope one day I get one of my New York friends in here and just be like, "What the hell are you guys
we
doing?"
don't. Have you seen the video where the guy's like, "Hey, I'm in New York," and he's like, "Hey, I'm walking in." And this lady
Oh,
grabs
yeah.
him. She's like, "We do not talk like that.
Yeah.
We don't talk like that." And he's like, "Hey, forget about it."
She's like,
it's,
"Are you serious?" And he like cuts the video.
he's like
Yeah.
super pissed at him. It's so funny.
That is awesome.
That's a great one. Yeah. No, but then the other one comes in and goes, "Coach, I don't think we survived that."
Yeah, he's
crash."
like in tears. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think we survived the crash, coach.
Yeah, just like, you
She's
think?
like, you think?
Yeah, the other one too is when they're walking down that, and what I love about Tim Burton's aesthetic is like he always like kind of thinks of like, okay, how can we make this a little weirder? It's not just a hallway; it's gonna be like this fun house hallway where the floor's coming up and down and zigzagging, and everything's kind of like weirdly askew. Like even at the
The
end,
doors are off.
yeah,
and-
all the doors are weird and stuff. But the one player that I was like, oh, that's so dark. Is they're like, what's this room?
The
And they
island,
lift up
the
curtain.
room of lost souls or whatever. Yeah.
It's like it's and the guy's like it's souls that have been exorcised, and then he's
Yeah.
like it's dead. It's death.
It's
for the
death for the dead.
for the dead.
Yeah.
So
It's
creepy.
like
well, that's
yeah.
like what
And
happened.
then he goes,
that's
you
what's
don't want to go in
Yeah,
there.
you don't want to.
Yeah,
That's what's going to happen to them at the end of the movie.
right. That's what.
When
yeah.
what's his name? Borf? No, that's not his name. But what's his
Ortho.
name? Ortho.
Otho.
Tries to bring them back because he stole the book and he's having like the seance with everybody where he's trying to. So they're trying to make.
That's the funniest part about them is they do the famous scene, the Deo, Misedeo. They're like one of the best scenes of the whole movie.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to scare him, and she says, "Go back and do your own thing. Like get them out of there yourselves.
Figure it out.
Figure it out."
They
And that's the way they
make
do
them
it.
dance.
Yeah, and they doing like all the conga line and the calypso, and then at the end, that was the creepiest part.
When the
Was when
shrimp
the
come out?
shrimp turns into the shrimp hand and
Yeah.
grabs him by the face.
Like slams him into
That
the
creeped me
table.
out when I was a kid, but other than that, like that scene is so good.
It's the last time
And-
we ordered Long John Silver's.
Seriously,
No, she
Take
made
acid.
it.
That's
She
not what
ma-
we're doing.
She made it. Remember, the girl comes down to talk to her, and she's like cutting. She's like cutting mushrooms.
Yeah, I know.
And she's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
I'm
Weird
cooking
family.
for 8 tonight.
this will be the only time I have to have normal people
Yeah.
over to the house in this godforsaken place. Can we pretend to be a family for one night? But the funniest part was the budgetary issues. I think I talked to you about this, where there's the scene where the dad is in the one room that he
office.
wants to be his room,
Yeah, just his.
where
yeah.
he can relax and don't mess with this room. And he's wearing this red sweater with a white pattern on it.
Oh, okay.
And then when she's cutting the vegetables and stuff, she's got suspenders on with a white top, and like you see like this weird red. When she goes to the refrigerator, if you look, she's wearing his sweater as pants.
Oh,
She has her
okay.
legs in the armholes. And I didn't even
Wow,
know.
that
Never
makes
caught it.
so much
never
sense.
caught it. Never looked at it. And I'm watching it again. I'm like, she's wearing that damn sweater. Why does she have? But it's like all budgetary things.
Well, my wife saw that too. She was like, "What the hell is she wearing? Like, what is
It's
that?"
his
'Cause,
sweater.
I didn't notice.
I love. We
Go-
cannot.
you.
Go back.
I'm not surprised.
It's great. Yeah.
But go back to that scene and just watch that scene. You're like, What
I was
the
too
hell?
busy. They spent too much money on Winona Ryder's veils for her.
And the white makeup they had to put on her to pale her out. Well, I heard Catherine O'Hara, which we cannot skip over her performance in this. She's absolutely brilliant. I think she stayed inside for like 3 months straight or something like that. She avoided the sun to get as pale as she possibly could, to have that stark contrast. But her and what I love about her is when they're moving in, she's like trying to let the movers know that she's like the creative one in the family. And she's like, this is my sculpture. She's like, and I'm not saying that I bought it. I'm saying I made it. This is my sculpture. And then one of them comes down on the crane and nearly kills her. And she's like, do you think I want to die this way?
And it crashes through the guy's window. You guys just take a break for 30 minutes.
Please just go.
What the hell are you guys doing out there?
He's making the coffee. He's just having his morning, and the freaking weird sculpture, she goes smashing through the kitchen window. Yeah.
He says so after that first dinner when the Deo scene and everything, her agent is with them. That dude says the harshest lines to her. He's like, you're a flake. You'll always be a flake. If you want to scare someone, show them your artwork.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
First cut is the deepest.
Maybe. Sorry, you're gonna get me singing again.
Instead of it working and getting them to run out of the house because they. Okay, in just a minute, they're all gonna scatter.
Yeah, they're just staring at the door.
They're looking at the car.
Yeah.
And the funniest part to me is their whole front yard is just like a field.
Yeah. Oh, there's no driveway.
All the cars are parked right on top of each other.
Yeah.
This little triangle.
No.
Humongous phenomenal cosmic
powers.
Oh man! Well, you come to find out that rather than scaring her, that they now want to turn this whole town into a carnival.
Capitalist society.
Capitalism. Yeah.
And he wants to turn it into Halloween Town.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Well, it's this is the Bug Museum.
Yeah. Oh man, his whole pitch.
Immediately, instantly.
Yeah.
And they have such great actors like Robert Goulet, I believe is the guy's
Robert Goulet.
I knew it was coming.
I'm tough on that one, buddy. Yeah.
And then the guy who is her the one that yells at her, he's also another famous actor from the past that I don't know.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off principal.
That's the principal from Ferris. Yeah.
I'll keep going. I'll look him up.
Yeah.
And then so they're waiting for them to come running out, and Lydia comes and knocks on the door and she says,
They want to meet
They
you.
want you to come downstairs. They want to meet you.
She's almost more disappointed than they are. Like, it didn't work, dude.
Man, it sucks. It's not cool.
Well, and they get like in trouble with their social worker because they let her take a picture of them.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that scene.
With no feet. With no feet because they're trying to wear the sheets.
They try to scare them so that if they first put on, like, they call it, they think of these as death shrouds, like Alec Baldwin, and they start floating around the house going, ooh, ah, and
he's like, the moaning is instrumental.
It's crucial.
It's crucial, yeah.
But they go to Catherine O'Hara, and Catherine O'Hara is asleep with the TV on. I think it was wrestling, actually.
Yeah,
too.
it was wrestling.
wasn't it?
It was like Lucha Libre wrestling.
Okay, yeah. So, like, thank you. Yeah. And they're trying to wake her up, and they're like just getting louder and louder. And Catherine O'Hara just brilliantly like sits up, eyes closed, shuts off the TV, and goes back to sleep.
Makeup all over the pillow. Makeup all over the pillow. And the best part is she's like, "You're not gonna scare her. She's sleeping with Prince Valium tonight."
Prince Valium. That was it. That was
and Lydia before that is when she's in her room laying down, like being sullen, and she says, "Oh my gosh, can't they stay off of each other?"
Oh, that's
because they're moaning super loud, and it's like she's like, "Oh, dude."
She like bangs on the wall. She's like, "I'm a child, damn it."
When I heard Prince Valium, all I thought of was Spaceballs.
Spaceballs.
No, wait, come back, come back.
Oh, thank you, Mel Brooks, for Spaceballs.
That's
the
so
best,
funny.
one of the best opening gags in history. Had me rolling on the floor as the spaceship just keeps floating by.
It's like, how's
3
my
minutes,
driving?
yeah. How's my
On
driving?
the back of the thing.
Oh God. Oh, so they come. They eventually Lydia employs Beetlejuice because Ortho decides to try to exercise him because they're not agreeing to be part of this theme
he
park.
steals the book. He steals
Ortho
the guide for the recently deceased.
Yeah.
And that gets them in trouble. So their social worker, she's like, "You got to get it back,
Holy,
and don't use Beetlejuice."
Yeah.
Like, you know, we can't have you turn into like a circus show. Imagine if people found out that the afterlife was real and like.
Oh
all this
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
She's like really concerned
and there's
about
weird rules about it
Yeah.
too. Like,
it. That's so funny. Like, just because she smokes in that scene, and it reminds me of the guy when they're waiting in the waiting room, and he's like, "You want a cigarette?"
Oh yeah.
He's just
he looks like the grandma from SpongeBob. That's like, "What are they selling? Chocolate." I hate chocolate. I always hated it.
and
He goes to hand him the cigarette. He's
Yeah,
like,
he goes,
"No," and he's
"No,
like,
thank you."
"I've been trying to come back myself."
Yeah, I've been trying to come back myself.
And he's just like a black, like he's tar. And she's like,
obviously
"This is what it
was in a
looks like
fire.
when you die. That's what it looks like when he dies." Like,
Look like when they die. Yeah.
yeah. But anyway, so yeah, they try to employ Beetlejuice, and then he almost kills the family. Like,
That's right.
After the Deo scene doesn't work, they're like, "Oh no!" Like they're coming upstairs. So you don't hear them say like Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. It's just they're on the banister, and the banister turns into a snake.
He's kind of been released, and that's what was kind of weird about the ruling. Is like, wait, okay, who said Beetlejuice 3 times, and what are the rules exactly about what he can?
Well,
and can't
apparently,
do?
like to bring him out, you have to say his name 3 times, and then to put him back, you have to say his name 3 times.
yeah,
Yeah, and I think that, like you said, they don't show it on camera, but out, like, kind of like say it.
It's
like, go
kind of
ahead
like,
and say it.
yeah,
okay,
like,
yeah.
well, why'd you hire that guy? He could have killed them. And
Yeah.
she's like, home, 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 and then shit, because they get shrunk down
Yeah.
when he comes out, and then when they see that, because they almost kill her dad, and like she likes her dad, she doesn't
right. Yeah,
like,
she
want
doesn't.
her
She's
dad
not
to
a
be
yeah.
hurt.
Yeah.
It's funny because her dad is very
Is he your
loving.
wet noodle? Is he?
No, dude.
It's hard
Is
to find
there a wet
Is this
noodle?
gonna be? Is this gonna
I
be?
think my wet noodle is the realtor lady.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
that's
or her
like
kid.
that. If my hand is forced,
Yeah, her kid. She's the wet noodle.
yeah. But the kid is. She only has
That's
one
true.
line.
Yeah.
No,
It's
the realtor's
It's
your
nowhere
wet
near.
noodle.
They drowned.
Freaking,
They
yeah, it's
drowned.
nowhere near freaking.
I was at the
girl in,
funeral.
Scared stupid.
Oh yeah.
At the tree, or the girl in Hocus Pocus that's wiggling all over the place.
Yeah, this is my scene now.
And see it.
Yeah. Or the kid.
I'm ready for
or
my
the
close-up,
kid-
Mr.
The
DeVille.
kid in
Yeah.
Hocus Pocus when the hot girl's talking, and he's just like,
Did you go back and watch that? Oh, please do, everyone. Yes. Go
But
back
this
to
will be
that.
maybe our second movie in a row where there hasn't been a wet noodle, because Adam's Family, there's no wet noodle.
Yeah,
is
dude.
that a sign of a good movie though? Is that if there's no wet noodles, or is that
It's a
like
sign of a great cast.
I mean, yeah,
Nah.
or good character development.
Because Smalls in the Sandlot is kind of a wet noodle.
Oh, that's right.
but that
yeah.
is writing.
Yeah, that's true. He's
He is
he's a
supposed to
purposeful
be
wet noodle.
Right. The wet noodles that we're pointing out are people who should have been, in the movie, in it to win it, and they're just laying flat.
They missed the train.
Yeah, they're like,
not hanging
they're
out.
like,
Yeah, I'm acting.
this is my acting.
I did love that scene when when Beetlejuice is trying to get Lydia to play charades. And
No,
it still,
hey,
still
he's trying to
cracks
get her
me
to
up.
say Beetlejuice.
Yeah, it still cracks me
He's
up
like,
when he's like,
play
look,
charades?
look behind you. Look, he's like, just turn around.
Why'd you just turn around
And
and behind you?
there's a beetle, and he goes,
Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up?
I don't know why that cracks me up. That voice and just, oh,
Yeah, we're good. Hey,
And it's his voice.
It's him. It's Beetlejuice.
all, yeah.
And I
it's
love
Keaton.
what Burton does with like little subtleties where, like we talked about with like some of the kids movies that are so good, like Goonies and stuff, where they don't spoon feed you everything.
Yeah.
They just make the movie and you catch what you catch and you don't what you don't. And if you watch it again later on, you may catch a lot more
Yeah.
than you did the first time. And he does the thing where he's like, you got to learn to throw your voice. And he talks through Gina Davis's mouth.
Yeah.
But it doesn't zoom in on Gina Davis's face to show you like my voice is coming out of her
Keeps it
mouth.
wide,
It
yeah.
keeps it wide. So
Yeah.
you're when he says that, your eyes go to Baldwin.
Yeah.
And you're like, wait, it's not coming. And then they go to David as she's like delivering the
acting out,
last
dude.
of those
Yeah.
lines, and it's like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. Like such a good movie.
It's just good, like just cinematography and direction. Like you're right. Like it's interesting when you watch some of these films and you start paying attention. Okay, when are we going in for our close-ups? When are we drawing attention to something?
Right.
And then when do you just let the scene play out?
Right.
And like you said, like as I watched this as a kid, I caught maybe 4 or 5 of the jokes.
Right.
Maybe. And now like watching it again, it's like, oh, like, there's so much more.
Yeah.
And like just as you go through life stages, and I think that's what's so
I think
brilliant.
we were talking. I don't know if we were talking about it on camera or before we started, or we talked about it already on the show. Where you were saying you had to go back and like when you watch those scenes
Yes.
with Michael Keaton again and again, because you have to almost like slow down what he's saying because he's talking so quick and he's so brisk and then everything's coming out so fast. You're missing jokes left and right because he's so funny and he's so on it.
Yeah, and not just that, I had to put on the subtitles, dude. I was like, I had to keep just going back.
I love watching these movies with the subtitles when they can't keep up with what's going on, or they're getting it wrong, like little words here and there because they're. It's like, oh,
it's funny. Like the first time that they see Beetlejuice is when he's in that commercial. He's like, got people in your house won't move out.
Yeah,
they've been really giving you a hard time.
I love it when he's like, bring on the kids. We got snakes and critters all around, and they can play with a bunch of them. And just like, then he says something, I'll be anyone you want. I'll haunt anything you need, or kill anyone I want.
Who do I need to kill?
Yeah.
When he first shows up, who do I need to kill?
I'll chew on a dog. And that's his last name in that commercial. It's like, where is that coming from?
Yeah. And it's funny too how he has the black and white striped suit that's like
so
iconic.
Oh,
that's only at the end.
He's only in that suit for like 5 seconds.
No. He's in that suit for when he gets called on by Winona Ryder.
Yeah,
Lydia.
Right. No, but he's like,
that's
that whole
his,
scene.
That's his marriage tuxedo.
No. His marriage tuxedo
is
goes
the red.
Oh yeah.
Thing with the bow tie and like the frilly shirt.
You gotta look at the fashion tray. It's all over.
Well, that's the scene when they call on Beetlejuice and then she gets mad at them. She gets mad at the ghost because they almost kill the dad.
And it's funny when they come back from. That's when she's mad at them when they have like their faces all stretched out and weird, and they're like, "How long were we gone?" And Beetlejuice is like 3 months.
3 months. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then when he first falls out of the house and goes into like the sand or whatever, he comes back in and it's like instantaneous, and she's like, "You've been out there for hours," and he's like, "Hours? I was out there for like 20 seconds."
Yeah.
Like, how does this work?
That weirded me out too. The whole time thing. It's just like,
because when you're dead, like he has a good line when they're laying in the attic before anybody buys the house, and she's like, "I can't clean anything effectively because I can't get the vacuum because it's in the garage," and he's like, "Honey, we're dead. I don't really think we have to worry about that anymore."
Yeah. They did. I remember they were saying that one of the endings, I think, were you gonna like one of the endings was that Lydia was gonna die at the end.
Well, yeah, he wanted to kill them
for not letting him.
No, well, Beetlejuice, that was his whole goal from like in the original script was to kill the Dietzes.
Oh God!
And to I think take the soul of Lydia. Was never about like marrying her and stuff like that. Or and they had a younger daughter. The Dietzes did. In the original script that could see him.
Oh, okay.
And they changed a lot of things and for the better.
This sounds like, honestly, it sounds like, do you remember that movie Sidious, I think it is, or Sinister?
I don't think so.
Oh man, it's
not a big horror movie guy. So.
I'm not either, but like this is one of those ones like, you know, like when you're going through YouTube and they're like, oh, check out like top 10 scariest like jump thriller movies.
Yeah,
like, it's not like blood.
See, those are worse to me. Like I hate being jump scared.
Yeah, those jump scare movies.
Because it's like cheating. It's like, dude, you didn't like scare me. You just were really loud and it
all
pissed
of a
me
sudden.
off. Like I wanted to punch my television.
Yeah, they got to be done really well in order for a jump scare movie to like. Now, if you start watching those kind of movies for the comedic value of them, a lot of them work. Like the Broken Lizard guys do. I think it's Club Dread.
Oh yeah.
And that movie's hysterical, and it like makes a lot of fun
once
of
you
those,
know the
that
tropes,
styling.
you'll know
right
like
exactly.
when they're like, she's gonna close the mirror and he's gonna be standing behind her, and then boom, it happens, and you're like, told you.
It's like we were talking about in Ernest Scared Stupid. Yeah. She's looking under their bed, and it's like he's in the bed, he's in the bed, he's in the bed, he's in the bed, and then later when they're going to the pipe, and it's like. He's behind you. He's behind you. He's behind you. He's behind you.
Two things about that. And that what I love is like I love it when you find movies that like jump scare movies like that kind of they know the tropes and they just kind of twist it just a little bit.
Yeah.
So when you think it's about to happen and they just really surprise you because like it's called Insidious. I'm sorry, and it's this family that's haunted by a demon or something like that, and the little kids in the movie can see it. And I thought, oh, that's kind of like this is like the evil Beetlejuice movie, but it's actually kind of based on real stuff that this family
it is the
happened. Oh God! But you were saying about jump scares and stuff, and you know, I love watching those movies, just those scenes to see. Okay, are they going to do it just like you said? Close the mirror, and then he's behind you, and stuff. And like then when that moment passes, there's kind of that like. Oh, okay. And then all of a sudden,
when they get you.
They find another way, and you're just
Dude,
like, oh, damn it! Yeah.
If you guys want to look up something funny, there's this guy on YouTube. His name's Highboy. That's what he calls himself. Highboi, I believe is how he spells it.
All right.
And it's like if blank movie was explained by an idiot, and it's him as like a stick figure with like bloodshot eyes. And he does it. and it's hilarious because he's like, and I bet that he's gonna be in the toilet, and there it is. I totally called it. I've never seen this movie, but this is dumb. Okay, here we go. Like he just moves to like the next part of the movie.
There was one where it's like somebody was like explain this movie badly. And they were
those
like,
are great.
Oh, they're so funny. Where it's like a couple goes on a romantic cruise that ends up in the bottom of the ocean or something like that, and they're like Jurassic. It was Titanic. And there's another one where they're like if you reverse a movie, like explain a movie in reverse, and it was like giant dinosaurs de-evolve and throw up a bunch of tourists on a Costa Rican island. You're like, what? Oh, Jurassic Park. Okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah. Those are always fun.
I like Everything Wrong With. You seen those?
Yeah, EWW.
He's funny.
Yeah.
I
would love to see somebody do if there's everything wrong with this, because I think what's hard about some of these
there's
movies.
a Beetlejuice one.
Yeah,
and an Addams Family one too.
All right, well we should go watch that. Stay tuned because
Definitely.
It could be like our Mystery Science Theater.
yeah, that'd be great to see what they do and comment on it, because it's hard sometimes to watch these movies because I get caught up in like how good and how unique they felt when I was a kid. Like there wasn't anything I could hold it up to in comparison to, but it's just so good.
You still can't really compare Beetlejuice to anything.
Yeah, that's.
I think that Addams Family also.
Yeah,
they kind of live in this in between where they're not quite a comedy and they're not quite like a horror movie or a scary movie,
right?
But they have elements
like
of
creepy
both.
things.
Like they're really funny and they're really weird and out there. It's like the darkest of comedies. They live in this weird space, and I think that's kind of Tim Burton's bag, baby. And he didn't do like to the point where he didn't do the Addams Family movies.
Yeah,
and people connect him to those movies.
Even though they're not his movies.
And
yeah.
It's like, no, Tim Burton did not direct that.
What?
Not.
What do you mean?
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah, no.
But like
he
the
wasn't in it.
makeup and the thing and
And the weirdness, and like they're
Not
obsessed with like being weird and strange and dark and like
they're like creepy and kooky
and altogether ooky.
nice
And mysteriously spooky.
Yeah, pretty good.
Pretty good, yeah.
But anyway, so then they get mad and they send him back, and then they do the fat effeminate guy steals the book, and he's forcing them to basically come out to run this like horror show. That's what he's trying to do, prove that they're real to the big investor.
Their suit, his tuxedo, and her wedding
Yeah, he has
dress.
the wedding clothes. Yeah, that they almost
dude.
threw out. Yeah, and so he basically starts to bring them back, but they age like super rapidly, and that's because they're being exercised.
They're decaying, right in front of them.
So
Dude, and that's creepy.
yeah, like
looking.
when his jaw falls off. Oh,
yes.
And when he's like touching at Gina Davis's face, and it's like just like
And no, he holds her hand, and like her fingers start to turn
crumpling.
to dust. Yeah,
I saw.
but then so she's Lydia's scared that they're gonna die, and he's like, I can't reverse it. And he's like, I don't.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know how to stop it.
Yeah.
So she like goes to, and that's when you see the iconic suit because he's sitting on top of the two graves, and she's like, can you help him? He's like, yeah, I think I know what I can do. And he's like, oh, but we gotta get married.
Yeah,
And
those are the rules.
That's it.
I gotta get hitched.
He's like, there's a quick road. I gotta get hitched.
Yeah.
He's like, well, weird rules, not mine. He's like, I gotta get
Not
hitched.
mine,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, weird rules, they're not mine.
We don't actually have to be like married or anything.
We can both get something out of it. I get be free. You get to be the wife to the most eligible bachelor.
Yeah, in the universe. Yeah, that's
So he's doing all that, and then you finally get the iconic line where she's like, Beetlejuice, 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 and he's like, it's showtime.
Yes.
Yeah, that's when he comes out right to the thing and like does the funny ass hammers.
Yeah.
and
And
all
the
that
two
stuff.
the
And
people
the-
fly out of the
Like
house.
through the ceiling.
And the tambourine player is just rocking it the whole time.
going
Yeah, the whole time. I saw a funny fact this week, and then I watched this movie, and I had to shudder because you just reminded me about it. But I saw this fun fact that apparently so this is a medical fact that apparently your tongue knows what every surface feels like. So like if you look around a room and you're like, yep, I know what that. I know
like
what
it's
that
gonna be
feel like.
bumpy
I know what it
or
feel
it's
like. I
gonna
know what
be-
that
yeah,
feels like.
yeah.
And then I saw this movie and I saw Gina Davis's like crinkly old face and everything. I thought, oh god. I had to pause it. And I was like, I need to leave a moment. I was
That's
like,
the
no,
real
not
scary
doing
part
it.
of the movie. Yeah.
So that's a fun fact.
You go
for
to
everyone.
Matt's and he's just like
It is like,
You go to
stop
Matt's
it.
and he's in a shower, like no,
Just crying, brushing my teeth, just like no.
the scene from
No.
Yeah, the scene from Ace Ventura where he's burning his
I
clothes.
know all there is to know about the crying game.
Oh yeah, so that's a fun fact for all our listeners and viewers out there.
That's funny.
Now you can think about that.
But
when
it's
you're
almost
trying to
like
have a good
the
time.
There
second
you
she
go.
calls on Beetlejuice, they start to de-age.
Right. Yeah.
Like the seance ends, and the funny part is like the way he scares. What's his name? I keep wanting to call
Otho.
him. I keep wanting to call him
Otho, no R.
I keep
Otho,
wanting
yes,
to call
Otho,
him.
sorry.
I keep wanting to call him Otis.
Otis. Okay. Cletus and Otis. Okay. Sorry.
He like
Otho.
the way he scares him is like putting him in the blue suit.
Yes. He puts him in a tacky suit, and that's his worst fear.
I love that Otho character.
I
dude.
love the
He's
way
so
that
good.
Keaton like notices him too. The way that Beetlejuice sees him, and he's like, he sees him running out, and he's like, oh, all right, and he shoots him like with a little gun, and then it just spotlights.
Yeah, no, he puts the spotlight on him, and then he's like,
all right. The guy's like,
and then they try to get him. He tries to get married. She transports into like this red wedding dress, and he's like, "We're gonna need witnesses." And like he grabs her parents, and the sculptures come to life, and the one is like crawling with what looks like a brain. Like,
yes.
And then the same one that's gotten her throughout the movie grabs her, and she's like, "No."
That's
it's
creepy.
like a little centipede thing.
Yeah.
And it takes her. Yeah. Oh
And
my
so
gosh.
this little butler like shows up out of nowhere, and he's like, "Do you beat?" And he's like, "No. Don't say my name."
He starts pulling out. He's like, he's like, the ring. And he starts freaking out, and he pulls out like snakes and bugs, and he's like, here, hold that. And I'm like, poor Lydia's holding the snake, and she's like, ah.
Yeah.
And then
So
he finds
He does that bit twice in the movie
Yeah,
too.
he does.
When you first meet him, he hands Gina Davis a rat.
Yeah, and she's like,
she's
"Ah!"
right,
Yeah. But Alec Baldwin's character says Beetlejuice once, and he shrinks him down onto the
onto the miniature.
Yeah, the
model.
diorama.
Model, yeah.
And then she says Beetlejuice. Gina Davis's character says Beetlejuice, and he puts a zipper on her.
Yeah, she opens her
unzips
mouth.
it and goes Beetlejuice, and then a giant like steel plate is
Like riveted to her
Yeah.
face.
and she's trying to like rip it off, and then he drives the car that Beetlejuice
Yeah.
crashed.
Right as they're about to say I do.
He
and
runs it into his foot, and he's like,
and it
"Ow."
explodes.
Yeah, he's like, "Ow."
Yeah, and he doesn't die though. He doesn't get said Beetlejuice. He gets eaten then by a sandworm.
Right. So she thinks because earlier in the movie she runs outside because like she can't take it anymore.
Yeah.
She's like,
Yeah.
I gotta leave the house. And the sandworm tries to get her even before she
feeling.
gets in the house. And like the sandworm can't for some reason.
Right.
Like, it's not that she's in the house because that does happen. But the sandworm, I don't know if it like doesn't want to but she comes in just high-o silver
Yeah.
on this.
Yeah.
freaking
Oh, I love the way
sandworm.
she turns around. She like realizes she's on Saturn. She's like, "Where's that fucking sandworm?"
I came here for a purpose.
And it looks like a giant sock puppet.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I actually saw the Tim Burton.
You know what I thought, and you could ask Bridget, my wife. I actually said it when he goes to eat Beetlejuice. I went, "Feed me, Seymour."
That's great. No, so there's theories about that too. So like, no one said Beetlejuice 3 times, so he's technically still
He's alive in the
released.
sandworm.
And so that's where they think they're going to pick up for the second one that's coming out next
Yeah,
year.
they're making Beetlejuice
Yeah.
2, and Michael Keaton didn't want to do it for the longest time.
Thank God he came over.
But
that. Yeah.
Tim Burton and apparently Winona Ryder were like, "Hey, yeah, you have to be Beetlejuice."
Well, originally they were gonna. That everybody was
Right out
signed
the
on.
gate, yeah.
right
and
when they
then
were
he
done.
was like super nervous about.
well, no,
Oh,
they
You mean for like right after Beetlejuice?
right after
1.
Beetlejuice
Yeah,
was
yeah.
made, like Beetlejuice was big and it was successful, and they were gonna like everybody was signed on, every actor, everybody, and Warner Brothers, after the success of Batman, decided we need you to focus on Batman Returns, and so Keaton and
Danny DeVito's
And
ass.
Burton,
and
DeVito.
Burton went on.
DeVito's ass.
Yeah, Danny DeVito's ass went on to make a movie that is amazing.
It's perfect.
But people hate on because it's so dark, twisted.
No,
Man, I
it's
wish we had gotten the third one.
Oh, I do too. Yeah,
really
Batman. Yeah, I do. Yeah,
Well, we got
that.
Batman Forever.
Then we got Keaton now in the Flash, which I saw, and I was like, yeah, all right.
Didn't see it.
So the way I would describe it is it's worth watching. It's entertaining, but
See,
Yeah.
but like I read
Yeah.
the Flashpoint comic, and like it's just gonna piss me off
probably.
because like
yeah,
I think really what it is, it goes back to what I was talking about earlier with the CG. It's like so pumped up with so much CG that it loses any.
because in the original
Whatever.
Flashpoint, it's not Bruce Wayne, it's Thomas Wayne is Batman,
Oh, like yeah.
and he's like
His dad?
No, yeah, and he's unhinged. He
Oh.
doesn't have the no killing rule. He uses guns. He keeps the gun that killed Bruce framed in the Batcave.
That's dark.
Yeah,
Oh,
and,
because it's like flipped.
right.
Bruce
so
Wayne got killed
Bruce
instead
Wayne
of Thomas
dies, and his mom becomes Barbara Wayne becomes the Joker.
What is
And
this?
This is Flashpoint. the comic Flashpoint.
Oh, it's like a
So that's what
different,
the
like, spin-off
Flash
kind of deal.
is based off of.
Okay.
That movie's based off Flashpoint. And it's Zoom that forces Flash to go back in time and change something. He saves his mom.
You see, kids, this is why you shouldn't read. Don't read.
'Cause it just ruins
It's
it.
just going to ruin the movie.
Well, you've tried and you failed,
Stop.
and the lesson is never
Although
tried.
I
Don't
saw
read.
only the movie and I didn't read anything, it sounds like he enjoyed that reading a lot more than I
read is
enjoyed
There's
very
that
good.
movie.
there's a really good animated Flashpoint. It's like available on YouTube.
Oh, I've heard of that one.
Super
yeah.
cool to watch.
Yeah.
But it's Zoom. It's the Flashes. I know we're doing Beetlejuice, but
That's all I can
but
think
at the end, Batman shoots Zoom in the head.
Oh, God.
And
yes.
he stops himself from dying. And later in a Justice League movie, he's like, they're like, "How are you alive?" He's like,
Oh,
right
yeah.
before it happened, I slowed my heart rate and I pulled in all the negative speed force. He's like, "I live in agony constantly."
Oh,
Feeling
God.
my,
All right.
I'm like, whoa.
Talk
Like,
about a
that's
horror
crazy.
movie.
cool.
Jeez,
Yeah,
dude.
it's crazy.
Well, like, and I think some of the last points we should run on this was, this whole PG rating, and you were talking about it with the, okay, so where we're pushing those bars and stuff like that.
Yeah, today this movie's at least PG-13. It's probably R.
Well, because
No.
PG-13 at least, because of the F film.
Has to
But
be.
in the beginning of the film, there's sometimes I'm trying to watch these with my kids and I don't remember everything. And in the very first, like when they're first trying to scare the Dietzes and they're doing everything they think they can, like one is they open up a closet and Gina Davis has hung herself and then she rips
her face
her
off.
face off, and then her eyeballs comes out and she
Takes her
screams.
face.
And then I love Catherine O'Hara and Otho's reaction. They go, "We must pray that these other closets are bigger than this one." They kind of shove her aside, and they keep moving. And then the next one is
His head is cut off.
Yeah, she's holding his head, Alec Baldwin's severed head with a knife, and they open a door and it's like, okay, this is
That reminded me of
really-
Haunted Mansion.
Oh, this is pushing these limits here.
That
with
reminded me of
PG.
Haunted Mansion.
Haunted Mansion, which
in the
one?
ride at
Oh, on the
Disney
ride,
World,
okay.
where she's like, "Till death do us part." And she's holding the hatchet,
yeah.
and I'm like, "Oh,
That was another one that came out this year that I took my kids to, and I went, I don't think I should have brought
I've
my
made a
kids to
mistake."
this. Oh, this is bad. We're gonna need to do a lot of
I
happy things.
immediately
This was a
regret
terrible
this.
mistake.
Father, help!
We're gonna, the kids, they're gonna, I like in those times, it's like, okay, we got to do like a bunch of happy things to
Yeah.
make them forget. But it's so funny what kids remember and what they don't remember,
Mm-hmm.
because by like literally an hour later, they're like, that movie was pretty fun. And I was
Yeah.
like, you were asking
Thank
me to
God.
leave,
Yeah.
and I was about to. And she's like, no,
I don't
wanna
like
stay.
it.
Yeah, no.
As
I
Aaron's
like it.
son would said, "I don't like it."
I
Yeah.
like it. So
Hey, a 3-year-old turns to you at Universal Studios and says, "I won't go home."
I want to go home.
No, but I was talking about when you were watching Ernest Scales Stupid.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
that was Ben's
yeah.
kid.
He was like, "I
Yeah.
don't like it."
He
Different
just
kid.
turned to his dad and was like, "I don't like it."
I like it.
No,
And I
but
said,
we
"I
have to
told
talk
you."
about my favorite scene in the movie
Hit me. What's your best?
when she passes her math test.
Yeah.
At the end. Yeah.
Can I? Can I?
What are the
She got a
rules?
C in
Oh,
science.
please! You were never good at science. Don't.
And she's like, yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
and
Bubble.
so
She just
basically,
lives with the dead people.
yeah, she just and her dad's there because he's
They
in
both are.
he's in the office and he goes up. Lydia must have gotten an A on her math test.
That's right. That's right. I guess they all just live together happily.
Yeah,
And
but you get the shake, senora, shake your body right.
That's the thing. It's like where it ends, you're kind of like, wait, is there more, or is this just the end of our conflict?
Well,
okay, sure. Oh,
You,
let's
you
go
can
with it.
tell
All right.
she's trying her best to like be happy Lydia now and like all this stuff, but you
Yeah.
can tell she's also on wires and doesn't have a lot of
Yeah.
freedom to move. So she's just like,
Just like a lot
and I
of this.
shake on the Congo.
Okay, yeah, they kinda told her.
A
They're like, listen, honey,
lot of arms.
we spent enough money. We spent $1 million on the B-rated budget. If you think these wires are going to hold you in a full calypso, no. keep it to arms and feet, maybe. That's
And I
all
love
got.
that they did that too. It's such an interesting
End, right?
thing to but the whole Calypso thing throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
Calypso had like not been a thing for like 30 years apparently since Harry Belafonte made all those songs famous back in the day.
But isn't that the tape she gets him in the beginning?
But that's what I'm saying. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
the whole movie, like
Oh, got
the
it, got it, got it,
production
got it.
choices to
have
use
that.
Calypso
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
those movies. And man, it works so
Yeah.
well. Like the Deo scene, when I think Beetlejuice, I
Yeah.
think
Deo.
Deo.
I think
And
it's
just-
showtime.
Yeah, but just so weird and so
How
funny.
great would it have been if this was made just a little further on and a little later in the 90s, and that scene Deo was replaced with like boom boom boom, oh baby baby.
Or yeah, but
Britney
you know what
Spears.
the ending would have been.
What would it have been?
The party was night, the party was up there. It would have been who let the dogs out. 100% that would have been. No, it would have been.
Mambo number 5.
No, either that or somebody once told me.
R.I.P.
That would have been best. Yeah, rest in. Yeah.
But I do like how they brought the football players in.
Yeah, they're like
laugh.
joking the line because I think they realized how boring that would be. Just like that's the end.
Just her floating
just
there,
her
going,
floating there. Yeah,
chicks.
doing
It
that
reminds me of
weird
Matilda.
dance. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it has a Matilda vibe to it. Definitely.
Well, actually, Matilda has a Beetlejuice vibe to it.
That's true.
That's true. That's a good one. Well,
Yeah.
anything else to share? Anything else to bring up as we close
You
this
ever
one
play
out?
charades?
Or what?
Hey, you're
You ever play
playing
charades? No, you ever play charades? Yeah.
Just turn around, look behind you.
Orange pouring
breakfast?
Yeah,
Orange,
breakfast.
he's, and
Orange
you can
drink?
tell Beetlejuice is like, you gotta be shitting me.
Who looks at a box of orange juice? Doesn't say juice, damn it. It say juice.
So he starts like pouring it into
Yeah.
the thing.
Yeah.
So good.
Beetlejuice, and he's like, bingo.
Always worth a rewatch. I'm going to say it's a great one for the Halloween season. This should be coming out right before Halloween, so this will be the Friday of.
Happy Halloween,
before,
everybody.
Man. Happy Halloween.
Who's your Muppet?
Good spooky season. Oh, Muppet? Well, there's enough stop animation in this, but if I had to redo it, I probably would make like Ortho.
Otho.
Sorry, I keep saying Ortho. What is Ortho? That's
That's
like
what I do for a living.
It's a vacuum cleaner
Okay,
company.
Ortho.
No,
Thank you.
no, ortho is what I do for a living.
Oh, that's what you're-
orthopedics.
orthopedics, that's right. No, I definitely, yeah, if I had to Muppet anybody, it'd probably be Otho, yeah, just to see him hopping through. I guess that's my favorite thing.
I think I'd Muppet the
About
football
Muppets.
team.
Oh,
Yeah,
good
yeah.
one,
So then at
yeah.
the very end, you get like the dun, dun, dun.
It is just their hands like doing like, yeah, like kind of.
And I love that we didn't even talk about it. At the end of the movie, it cuts back to him sitting in the waiting room, Beetlejuice,
Oh, yeah.
after he gets eaten by the
yeah.
sandworm.
And he's sitting next to the
he's-
witch doctor.
Well, he's sitting next to the lady that's been cut in half, and I think that's like the director's girlfriend, or I think it's in the movie. It's supposed to be the guy's girlfriend,
Something like
the witch doctor's girlfriend.
Oh, really? Okay. Or she's like a magician's assistant.
Oh,
who
because
has
he steals
sawed
the
in
numbers.
half.
That's what
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
So, but he touches her thigh and she gets pissed.
Yeah.
He's like,
Oh
"Oh,
yeah,
sorry."
because she's sitting on the other side.
Sorry, I didn't say
Sorry, I didn't say that. And he moves over to the other side.
The
and
guy with the shrunken head.
He's got the number, and it's humongous.
69 million, and it's like now serving 3.
And he looks over, and the guy has 4. So he takes it and puts it, and then the guy sprinkles his head.
it
It starts
shrinking.
shrinking next to the other guy with the shrunken head. And he's like,
hey.
Yeah.
Get up. Think it's kind of a good look for me.
Yeah, this could be a good look for me.
Hopefully that's opened up in the second film that he still has a shrunken head in the waiting room.
That would be
and he's
very
got to
funny.
figure out how to get out of that.
They
That'd
call
be
it
interesting.
No,
to
he'll
see.
probably just like put his thumb in his mouth and do the like
know.
Animaniacs thing.
Yeah, right up to that. No, that's great, man. Well, again, thank you for listening. I think this wraps it up for us here on Beetlejuice. Happy Halloween
Beetlejuice.
as
Happy Halloween,
always.
Beetlejuice.
And again, check us out on YouTube, Spotify, everywhere podcasts are available. You can check us out also on Instagram and TikTok. I'm working on that TikTok feed to be a little bit more. We also got Trey's Back to the Playground series.
Yep.
He's battling some good old NES games.
Good old Castlevania right now.
Castlevania
It is
at the moment.
kicking my ass.
Oh, man, on Instagram, we're at nostalgialand.podcast.
NostalgiaLand.podcast. Thank you. Yeah.
Everywhere else, we're just Nostalgia Land, right?
I think everywhere else, yeah, we're just Nostalgia Land. But usually, if you type in Nostalgia Land into Google podcast, either one, we come up pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Like we're around there. So
Throw a comment.
Look for our logo if you're
Yeah.
watching on
Yeah.
YouTube.
Throw a
Happy
comment
hunting.
down there on what games I should be playing next. I'm probably going to be
Yeah.
streaming.
Yeah, help us out. Get on those live streams when you see it going live, and
It's a lot
chat
of
with
fun.
us.
Come in,
It's-
drop a
it's
comment,
super
tell me I'm
stupid,
awful at
but
video
hilarious.
games. They'll get a great laugh out of it. I'll get frustrated.
We
Everybody
do.
wins.
We do. We're all at home just watching Trey suffer.
I've thrown out the most ridiculous things I can think to say. It
so
makes
fun.
me laugh.
It's
If you have a
great
game that you really like or you want to see me suffer through, throw it in
Yeah,
there.
and if
it
you
up.
want to see or hear a show, you can hit
Yeah.
us up through Instagram. You can DM us there, and or leave a comment on our YouTube streams and everything, and let us know. We do check as everything as much as possible.
Yeah.
So let us know what you want to hear, what you want to see, what you're nostalgic for, and we'll try to get that done.
Absolutely. Yep. So again, as always, I'm Matt.
I'm Trey.
I'm Tyler. Cowabunga.